Hi, beautiful friends and book lovers. I hope that you're all doing well. If you're new here, hi, welcome. My name is Heather, and here at Heather's Book Review, I tend to read and review mysteries and thrillers primarily, but I will read just about whatever I am feeling. And today, these wrap-up videos are my absolute favorite to film. I'm going to be talking about, I think, 5 or 6 books. And I do have a 5-star read, which I always love when I can include one of those in my wrap-ups. It's just exciting. It means I consider one 5-star read like a good reading month, okay? Like they're kind of hard to come by nowadays, I feel, for me. So I'm excited about that. Also, something new that I started with this past wrap up is at the end of the video, I talk about all of I wrap up all the movies and TV shows that I also watched this month. So I got some great feedback on that. Like a lot of you guys really enjoyed that. So that makes me excited because I enjoyed filming it, and I love to talk about like movies and shows, just as much as I love to talk about books. So that is at the end of the video. I'll put a timestamp for when that starts too. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and jump into all the books that I read in March. But before we do that, I wanna tell you what I'm currently reading right now too, because those are just books to look forward to being reviewed in my April wrap up. So right now, I recently started Darling Girls by Sally Hepworth. This comes out in April. Pub date is April 23rd. I got this courtesy of St. Martin's Press. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes. So thank you so much, St. Martin's Press. I am hooked so far. Oh my goodness. I'm only like maybe a fifth of the way in. But it's really good. It's about these 3 sisters that grew up at this like crazy foster care home together. And now they're all adults, but it's like past and present point of views. But as they're like excavating their old foster home, they found like bones underneath. So now there's like an investigation. I don't know. I'm hooked. It's super good. I love Sally Hepworth's books. Her book, The Soulmate, which is somewhere here right there, was made my top 10 of last year. So I have high hopes. I'm super excited. So that is my current e-read. I always have an e-read, an audiobook, and then a physical book. My physical book, I just got it delivered 2 days ago. She's Not Sorry by Mary Kubica. Look at this. It's like the perfect length for a thriller. I love my thrillers under like 350 pages. So super excited. Gorgeous cover. This is one of the books, actually, so was Darling Girls. 2 of the books that I mentioned in the 8 thrillers that I'm looking forward to in 2024. I'll link that video up here for you to watch if you haven't yet, but I'm super excited that like, here we are. I filmed that video talking about like how excited I am to read those books, and now I'm currently reading both of them. 2 of the 8. But yeah, super excited. I love Mary Kubica's books. This is a psychological thriller, and it's getting a lot of praise, all from authors that I really like and respect. Nita Prose, Alice Feeney, and Stacey Willingham are all on the back here, giving great testimonials. So super pumped for this. And then my current audiobook is also a physical book I have, but I haven't started this physical book yet, but I have started the audio, courtesy of Simon & Schuster Audio. Thank you so much, Simon & Schuster. And I also got myself a physical copy, Kill for Me, Kill for You, by Steve Kavanaugh. Only 3 chapters in so far, but guys, all the books right now are currently thrillers. So is anyone surprised? No. Am I happy? Absolutely. All right, so that is what I'm currently reading, but let's get into what I read in March. All right, starting off with a great one that I saw a bunch of hype for. I love when books live up to the hype. Like when I see them all over Bookstagram and then I read it and I actually enjoy it. Amazing. And that's The September House. Guys, this is a go get this book now on my rating scale for spooky season, okay? It's a horror book, and it's so good. I don't read a lot of horror, and I've said this so much on my Bookstagram since I've been posting about this book, like while I actually listened to this one. But if I read a horror book, I want it to scare me. Like I want it to really like scare the shit out of me. And this book did exactly that. It is so scary. It's about this married couple that moves into like their dream home. And then there's just like all of these ghosts. And I'm just gonna leave it at that, okay? It is so good. It's hard for me to like talk about this book without feeling like I'm like spoiling it. So I'm like being so cautious with my words. All I'm gonna say is I got The Last House on Needless Street vibes near like the end of this book. And I really like that because I love The Last House on Needless Street. Oh my gosh, that is like one of my top 10 favorite books of all time. If you have not read that book, it is a psychological thriller. Like it is a true psychological thriller, okay? Oh, and it is so good, but it is not for the faint of heart, okay? It is super graphic. This book was also super graphic, but it reminded me of it in some ways. I'm not going to say any more, but it is so good. It is definitely go get this book now. It is scary. It is graphic. And I think it's perfect for spooky season. If you haven't read it, but I've sold you on reading it, just wait until spooky season because it's going to be like the perfect spooky season book. But yes, I listened to this on audio. I will leave my Libro FM link down below. And if you go through that and set up an account, you get a free audiobook. So you could even get this as your free choice. This next book is a massive thank you to William Morrow Publishing. It does not come out until June 11th, but add it to your TBRs now because I freaking loved it. It is A Talent for Murder by Peter Swanson. Did I say it comes out June 11th? I think I did. I have so many thoughts going on right now. It is a great thriller. On my rating scale, I'm giving it a go get this book now. Like honestly, add it. I'll put a pre-order link in the description box for you. It is great. I think it's probably my favorite thriller so far this year. It is about this woman who believes that her husband is a serial killer. And then she enlists the help of an old friend to kind of help her see if that hypothesis that she's got going on is true. And that's all I'm going to say. That's all you're getting from me. It is really, really good. It's a quick read. It felt like a quick read, but I was just like so immersed in it that I couldn't stop reading it. And then the ending, it's one of those endings where it just feels so satisfying. Like you finish it and you're like, yes, like that's how this book should have ended. You know, it's just, it's so good. I really can't say a negative thing about it. 4.5 stars. Go get this book now. A really, really good thriller to just get excited for. Okay, next up, I think it's marketed as a thriller. I would say it's more of like a slow burn mystery. That is Daughter of Mine, written by Megan Miranda. Thank you so much to Simon & Schuster. Oh my gosh, this is like the 4th time I'm recording this. Thank you so much to Simon & Schuster. There we go. Practice makes perfect. For letting me listen to this story. This is a book about a woman who goes back to her hometown. She's surrounded by her brothers, her family, and the town is having this huge drought. And as this like lake is, you know, the water, things are emerging from the lake, okay, because there's a lack of rain. And the lake is essentially drying up and there's a car in the lake. And then this entire like murder mystery investigation starts with our main character's mom, like what really happened to her. It's a small town, slow burn mystery. That being said, it wasn't for me. It's not my cup of tea. I like a fast-paced thriller. I was quite bored listening to this, unfortunately. So personally for me, on my rating scale, I'm giving it a chore to finish, which I hate to say. If I had to give it a star rating, it'd be like 1.5 stars. But other people are really liking it. So I just think maybe this author isn't for me. I've tried a couple of Megan Miranda's books before in the past, and I just feel like she writes slow burn books, and those really aren't for me. Sometimes a slow burn is, but it has to keep me like on my toes. And this one was a slow burn, but I just like wasn't excited. Like I wasn't ever feeling like, whoa, like here's a big revelation, like anything. So yeah, for me, unfortunately, I would skip this one. I don't know, it was a slow read. This next book that I read in March, super exciting. It won my What Should I Read Now poll here on YouTube and Instagram. I got 75 votes here on YouTube and then another 75 on Instagram. So super fun. I haven't really done one of those before to that caliber. But Murder Road by Simone St. James won. And I'm filming, after I film this video, a dedicated review for this, and then the book that came in second place, which I'm going to be talking about soon. But yeah, so I read Murder Road by Simone St. James. If you're unfamiliar with this author, which I'm sure you're not, because, you know, she's super popular, but if you are, don't worry, I'll fill you in. She writes ghostly thrillers. They're thriller books, but they do have like a ghost element. I would not call them horror in my opinion, because they're not like super graphic. Like, you're not going to have nightmares, but they do have ghosts in them. So it's like, you know, it's a nice mix. But anyways, this takes place in the 90s, I think. Yep, 1995. And it follows a couple, April and Eddie, who recently got married and they're on their honeymoon. And they're driving on this abandoned road when they see this person, this hitchhiker. And we all know, like, you don't pick up hitchhikers, but they do. And the story just takes off from there. They're in this small town. It's got ghostly vibes. I'm going to film a dedicated review for it, so I'm not going to go too much more into it. I think it started off really great. It's a quick read. It's under 350 pages. The font itself is pretty big too, which I always like. It just feels like it's a quick read. It started off really good. I was hooked. I was interested, but I didn't really like the ending. I didn't like the big reveal. I didn't really enjoy how it all wrapped up, but I really liked the first half. So for a star rating, I'm giving it a 3. For my rating scale, I'm giving it an enjoyable read. Do I think you should rush out and buy it? No, but I do like her. I like her books. The Broken Girls is my absolute favorite book of hers. I highly recommend that. But yeah, this was a fun read. It just wasn't like amazing. But yeah, this was my book of the month pick. If you're unfamiliar with book of the month, it's all these books behind me that have this sticker. It's a book subscription for $14.99, $15.99 a month. You get to choose one book, and then every other book that you choose, you can choose up to 4 more. They're only, I think, an extra $10 or $11. So it's a steal for hardcover books. I love it. I will leave my referral link in the description box below. And if you go through me, I get a free book, which is sweet. Okay, moving on to another audiobook. Again, thank you so much, Simon & Schuster. This is, I consider it a sci-fi. I didn't really look at how the book is being marketed on Goodreads, but I would assume it would be a sci-fi. That is called The Other Valley. This is about, it's a world where you are in your own valley, but to the west and east, you have a past and present valley in which the characters could potentially see themselves if they cross into the other valleys. So like, think about that for a second. How awesome. What an amazing concept for a story, right? Like, you could do so much with that. Like, in my opinion, what I like about sci-fi and like fantasy books is that like there's so much potential for world building. Okay, so when I read the description, I was super excited. I'm like, oh my gosh, like this author can do so much with this concept. You know, this sounds so new, intriguing, amazing. Like, I was super just, I guess, excited for it. And then I started listening to it, and I don't know, it just, I feel like so much more could have been done with it. I did feel bored, but I just wanted to finish. I was like listening to it on super speed. I hate not finishing an audiobook, especially when I'm, you know, allowed to listen to it from the publisher. It feels like, I don't know, in my mind, it's like disrespectful. Like, if I start it, I'm going to finish it kind of thing. Okay. So I did. It was okay, but I was bored. I wanted so much more because I felt like the concept was so cool. And I just feel like a lot of it wasn't really like it was just like nothing really big. Like, I wanted something big. I wanted drama, like in between the valleys and stuff, you know? So, overall, I'm giving it a 1.5 star. And unfortunately, on my rating scale, I'm giving it a chore to finish because I just wanted more, but I found myself speed listening to it just to like finish it. So kind of a bummer. All right, the last book. I literally feel like I'm going to get emotional talking about it. and I'm filming a dedicated review for that. So I'm probably going to cry while filming that. It is a 5-star. It is a book that truthfully is going to stick with me for the rest of my life. And I feel like that sounds like so dramatic. Like, no, it's such a powerful book. And I'm so excited to film that dedicated review for it because I have so much that I want to say about it. Okay. And that is Kristen Hanna's The Women. This came in second in my poll of what should I read now? Help me choose my next read. Yeah, these were like neck and neck for a bit, but then Murder Road. Actually, this one on Instagram, because I did the same poll. This one on Instagram, and then this one here on YouTube, and then when I added all the votes, Murder Road won overall. But this was a close second. I feel like I can't even put into words how much I truthfully loved this book. It is so, I can't even, like, I have a script written here for my video, and I just don't even know how I'm going to get through it without sobbing. I'm sure you guys are familiar with Kristen Hanna's writing. I have read The Four Winds, and I've also read The Great Alone. This is my favorite book of hers, hands down, and those other two are amazing. It's about these nurses in the Vietnam War, and our main character's name is Frankie, and she comes home from Vietnam with a terrible reception. Zero respect from anybody. Nobody respected the Vietnam soldiers when they came back, right? Because people were upset that the war was happening in the first place. I would say the first half of the book is her journey in Vietnam as a nurse. And then the second half is her experience coming home from the war. It is such a powerful book. And it's all about strong women and just like the struggles that she went through in the war and then coming home. It is such a good story. Like, Kristen Hanna just knows how to write a story. Like, she just knows how to write a beautiful, powerful story, right? Like, bottom line, that's what, like, it's just like, I don't, like, there are books and then there are like books. Like, this is just, I truthfully don't have enough good things to say about it. I highly recommend reading it. You can get it from Book of the Month. I'll link it from Amazon below. I recommend reading this one. I'm sure the audiobook is great. I just feel like I'm happy that I got the physical book experience for this one. It's just so impactful, you guys. It is so good. It's crazy because it's like I read The Frozen River and I loved that. Loved it. Raved about that in my last wrap up. This is my favorite book of the year for sure so far. Like, I know it's April 5th while I'm filming this, but I don't see another book like surpassing this. It's that good. Like, you will not be disappointed if you read this. And this is coming from someone who preached that they didn't like historical fiction. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, like, I'm a thriller reader. But when I read her historical fictions, I'm just like, oh my God, these are amazing. It's so good. All right, you guys, and that is it for all the books that I read in March. Now I'm going to be talking about the movies and TV shows that I watched. Okay, so if you're new here, I'm a teacher, but I'm actually on maternity leave because I just had my second child, my baby girl. And I have a lot of time to watch TV in between pumping and feedings and just being here, right? When I can't read a book because my hands are busy, something's on in the background. And I cannot believe I didn't mention this in my February wrap up, but I have watched there's two. I've watched both seasons of The Traitors. My husband and I initially got the Peacock app for football because it's so annoying, by the way, just not the app, not Peacock. Just the fact that you have to get like multiple apps or like streaming services when it's football season. Like, can't they all just be on the same network? Anyways, we got Peacock for who knows, maybe it was the Super Bowl. I don't even know. But then we kept it, because they have all the Harry Potter movies, and your girl's a huge Harry Potter fan. But also I found like all the current shows that I'm loving and binging on Peacock. So I was like, we're not getting rid of it. Like we need it. It's a need, not a want. Anyways, so I have watched both seasons of The Traitors. So good. It's like a murder mystery show. There's 2 to 3 people who are the traitors out of a cast of like 20 it starts with, okay? And then they all get dwindled down, people get booted off, and the cast is trying to find out who the traitor is. Or I'm sorry, the traitors are, because there's multiple. It is good. It's fun. I loved it. I especially loved season 2, even more so than season 1. So I highly recommend it, especially if you're subscribed to me because you like thrillers, which I feel like a lot of you are, because you guys know I love my thrillers. Watch this show because it's a great show, especially for people who like to read thriller books. Oh, this next one is, it is like a guilty pleasure, okay? And I just finished season 2 before filming this video. Like as I was putting on my makeup, I finished the season finale, and that is Below Deck. The reason I started watching this is because Kate from The Traitors is from Below Deck. And I was like, you know what? Below Deck is always something I've kind of like toyed with watching, but I've never just like bit the bullet. But I love Kate in The Traitors. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a go. And it is so addicting. It's this crew, this staff who run this big yacht for different like charters, for different families that rent the yacht. Or not, it's not always families. It's like, I don't know, just super wealthy people are renting these yachts to go on a nice charter. And then it films, the staff and all the drama with like the crew and the staff, but then also all the drama with the different guests. And what makes the show, in my opinion, so entertaining and that I don't tire of it is that all of this, the guests are all new. So it's like new drama. A new episode for the most part is typically, like new guests, right? So it's like, it's very entertaining because it's always something new going on, new people. I love it. I love the drama. I'm super hooked. Probably going to start season 3 once I'm done filming all of my videos today. Highly recommend. Okay, the next one isn't even done with its first season, but I am currently caught up. I watch the episodes as they come out. And before you roll your eyes or laugh, just hear me out, okay? Because it's really good. I think it's really good. It's Deal or No Deal Island. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, because you know what? You're probably thinking, Deal or No Deal, that's been around for forever, boring, want something new. Listen, okay? It's like Survivor meets a newer version of Deal or No Deal. It's reality. You guys know I love my reality TV, okay? It's this group of contestants. They're on an island, and it's Survivor vibes, okay? I love Survivor. Even actually one of the people on the show right now has won Survivor twice, I think. So it's cool, okay? It's a fun show. It's got a twist on Deal or No Deal, if you're familiar with that. I love it. I think it's funny. It's definitely like a family-friendly, show, but I love that it has like the Survivor vibes. I love that somebody gets like booted off every episode, and that you need to have strategy, but also like you need to know how to play the game, right? You need to be good with your statistics, and because I feel like that's all that Deal or No Deal is, right? So yeah, I really like it. I think it's fun and I'm enjoying it. Okay, a thriller show that I'm kind of pissed that I didn't read the book. It's one of those where it's like, I typically always try to read the book before I watch the movie or the show, but I didn't in this case, and I'm kind of mad at myself. That is Apples Never Fall. Loved it. Loved it. I thought it was so good. For all of you that read the book, you're probably like, yeah, you should have read the book. Just really good. This like family drama. The mom, who's like the matriarch of this family, just goes missing. And it's a murder mystery kind of vibe show of like, what the heck happened to the mom? Where is she? What's happening? There's 4 siblings, and it like hip hops between all their different point of views and the dad. It's really good. It's only 7 episodes too. I think they are like an hour long. Loved it. I don't know if there's going to be a second season, but I highly recommend it, especially if you're in the mood for like a short thriller kind of show. Okay, and then the last one, I didn't watch any movies, but y'all know, I said it in my last wrap up too. just with the newborn life, we don't got time for movies. Okay, if we start a movie, we're gonna start it and we're gonna finish it. With the shows, I can come back to it, right? And that is The Villains. Okay, this is definitely a guilty pleasure. This is like something that I would have watched in like high school, but I think that's why I love it, because it's people from reality TV that like I grew up watching, like New York, Johnny Bananas, Omarosa from The Apprentice. When she walked on screen, I was like, is that who I think it is? Corinne from The Bachelor, okay? The idea of the show is it's all the villains from TV over the years, and they like live in this one huge mansion together, and there's money, of course, as the prize at the end, money on the line. But it's funny because you have all these big TV personalities living in this house, and it is just drama filled. Like I was just laughing the whole time because I'm like, these people are crazy. Like, of course they like build it up for TV, right? Like they're reality TV personalities. Like that's who they are. It's good. It is entertaining, okay? Like I said, I grew up watching Johnny Bananas. When I saw he was on there, I freaking loved him from the Challenge MTV. So good. So much fun watching it. Wow, this is a long video. Unedited, we're at 32 minutes. So take a look at how long it is now that you're watching it. I feel like my wrap-ups literally are like episodes. Like they're like a 30-minute episode, 25-minute episode. It's definitely my longest video for sure each month. But anyways, that is everything that I watched and read in the month of March 2024. If you watched this whole thing, you're amazing. Thank you so much. If you're new here, I would love if you could hit that subscribe button. And as always, just thank you so much for watching. Chat with me in the comments, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, you guys.